All right. Well, hello, everybody. Renee and I are super excited about this call tonight. I had to see what today's date is. It's June 11th. Today is what, Tuesday? Is that what today is? Yeah, today's Tuesday. And this is our executive state of mind call. And we felt like this call was needed to really talk about getting in that executive state of mind and give you guys all tangible tips on how to create consultants and how to get into massive action. And the first thing I want to say is I want to applaud, and Renee feels the same way. We want to applaud you all for being here tonight and for doing your maps to executive. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is the start of everything. And Renee will say the same exact thing. Renee and I have done this since we were associates 5 and 6 years ago. And this is our Bible. Okay, Renee and I have been paid as executives since we hit executive within our first year of Isagenix. We have not fallen off. And the reason is we take this seriously. You guys, there's something special about putting names on a piece of paper and putting it out to the universe. So I want to just say you guys rock for being a part of this call. You guys rock for doing your maps and for wanting to get into action. So give yourselves a pat on the back because this is the first step to an amazing future of what's to come. So you guys did your map. So you have on your map, you've got, likely you have current customers that are loving these products and they're like feeling amazing. And maybe they haven't started to share yet, but you just are putting it out there. This is going to be a future consultant because they feel great and they're loving these products, right? So that's probably on your map. The second class could be someone who is what we call a pirate. And that's someone who's loving the products. Maybe they're a little interested in the business, maybe not, but they have enrolled one person. So those type of people are great to have on your map to executive, and you're putting it out there and you're making sure you're following up that they're going to enroll one more or a lot more, right? And then the third class is someone who you have not yet enrolled, but someone you want in your business. Someone who you know in your heart would smash this business, someone who you love and adore, or maybe you don't know them that well, but you just like their vibe and you want to run with them. You're putting it out there. So the best way to do that is to use pencil because you will be erasing, and that is okay. And that's okay to use a pen. Scratch it out, use whiteout, who cares? So thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for doing your maps. And you really should be thanking yourself. So how do we get in that executive state of mind? I'm going to start with a little bit of awesomeness that I've taken away from people that I respect so much in this industry in the Isagenix. Emily Bobber, who's my favorite person in all of Isagenix. You guys have heard me, you guys all love her too, but I totally love her. And then Renee's, again, she's going to give us some really good tangible tips. I want you guys to take notes. The first thing I want to start with is Emily Bobber says this best, and I love it, and it's to me so true. Renee will say the same thing. The serious, respected builders are executives, okay? And in order to get there, you need to have that state of mind. And truly, you guys, it's a decision. It is a decision. It's a decision to get there. It's a decision to stay there. And it's a decision to build other people to get there as well, okay? So we would feel like phonies, Renee and I, if we were leading this call and we weren't paid as an executive. But so we're doing the do, we're doing it with you guys, we're excited about it, and we're gonna do it all over again with you all. So Renee's got 20 consultants. Okay, that's amazing, right? I was like, whoa, she has 20 consultants. Her goal by celebration, I know she's gonna freaking do it, is to have 25 consultants. You guys totally think she can do it, right? Like, yeah, with a shadow of a doubt. I have 13 consultants today. My goal is to have 23 consultants by celebration. So that's 13 more. I'm gonna do it. I'm totally gonna do it. I know I'm gonna do it. So we are deciding, we've made the decision, and you guys are making that decision, right? So a lot of what I'm hearing and a lot of what I see is the story you guys are telling yourselves on why you can't get to executive. And it's almost like you guys are telling yourselves, this is too hard. I don't know if I can get there. This is too difficult. I want to tell you guys right now, when you decide it's too difficult, it's probably going to be too difficult. When you decide that, oh man, I'm totally achieving this, without a doubt, you're going to. So what story are you telling yourselves? You know, Emily Bobber says, when you think about it, hey, really, you need 31 people. That's including yourself to get to executive. There are people that are doing executive launch parties, and they're inviting 10 people to their launch party, and they're telling them to bring 2 people, and they're hitting executive in 48 hours. So you guys, you can all get to executive. It's just a matter of wanting it. It's just a matter of making that decision. So again, if you're viewing this as too difficult, it's going to be too difficult. So it's really getting into that state of mind. So what I've seen, what we've seen is that people feel the need to be perfect. As you're out there sharing, and as you're out there creating consultants, you feel like, oh my gosh, I need the perfect script all the time. And if you don't have the perfect verbiage, it's like you're paralyzed and you just want to shut down. Okay. And I see a lot of us that are copying other people that are successful. And that's awesome. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't duplicate what other people are doing that are successful, but there gets to a point where sometimes I'm seeing you copy people so much that it's not you. And I want to be very real with you all. People can figure that out. So my best advice for every single one of you guys is to be vulnerable. Like, be messy. Just be yourself. Like, there's not going to be, and Renee will give you some amazing tips and verbiage, but it's just a matter of making your decision and like being you. And yeah, there is a lot to be said for doing what successful people are doing. Please know I'm not telling you not to do that. But just have a little check and say, does this feel crappy? Do I feel crappy right now? Is because I'm really not being myself? Then you probably aren't being yourself. So just know that. You guys are freaking awesome. There's no need to try to be anyone but you, okay? And it starts with not acting like you have it all together. It's okay, again, to be like, oh my gosh, it's okay to like say something and be like, oh wait, that made no sense, and laugh at yourself. People are gonna find that refreshing. So don't think that you need to have it all figured out. I took notes, guys, so I'm looking down just to make sure I'm not missing anything. But, I find that we all have, every single one of us has self-limiting beliefs. And so the deal is you want to work through those self-limiting beliefs of what's standing in your way. If you're here at a point right now and you're like, I didn't even feel worthy of being on this call. And that's something I want to say right now. And it's something that I know we have Renee's team, and I know we have my team, our team, on this call. But I want to read to you guys something that I put in our thread. I don't know if everyone saw this, but I'm hearing that some people just don't think they're worthy of putting a map to executive together. Every single flipping person here is worthy. When I was an associate, I put my map, when I had enrolled one person, I did that because that's what people told me to do. So this is what I put in our thread, but you can be brand new and complete a map to executive. You can have one person enrolled. In fact, you should. It's what we've done from the beginning. But it's putting it out there to the universe, what you want, and that you're going somewhere. So you guys are all worthy of that. I want you to know that. I'm not trying to be all cheesy, but I'm really I want everyone to make that decision and feel like, okay, I can do this. I'm going to do this. So I find a lot of people get in their own way. You know, you want to be perfect. You want to mimic what other people are doing to a point where you're feeling like you're not yourself. And I will say, this is something that I've learned through just being in Isagenix for 5 years now, is that people will gravitate to you when they see that you're being yourselves. And, you know, I've gotten to a point now where I really don't care too much what people think. And it's really cool to see that evolution with people and going through your business and getting to that point where you're like, I don't really care because I'm a good person and I really want to provide a solution for people. So let's see. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So here's the deal, okay? So you are right now, you guys are leaders. People are watching you, and it's not just people that you haven't enrolled. People are watching you, and that means your team. The people that you have enrolled that you want to grow. Because if we all want to be executive, and you want to make sure that you're showing up, okay? You want to make sure that you're not just talking the talk, you're actually walking the walk. Because right now is where you really want to set the pace for your team, and you want to show up as much as you can. And that is super, super important. When people see you in action, they want to join you. So you got to remember that. People watch you just like our kids are watching us, which is so scary. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, they're really mimicking us. So just remember that. The people that you've enrolled are watching how you show up. So as far as getting into that executive state of mind, it's really becoming obsessed. All right, there's an element of obsession with any successful business. So I want us all to have a healthy level of obsession with getting to executive and getting in that executive state of mind. Renee and I will always agree with each other on this. Renee and I are equally obsessed with Isagenix and with our team and with showing up and with being consistent, and it serves us well. We have boundaries, yeah. We have time that we spend with our families and go on vacations and turn it off a little bit, yeah. But Renee and I both are obsessed with giving you guys what you deserve and with just doing the do. And I want you guys to get that, to get in that zone of I am obsessed with getting to this, to getting to executive. So let's see. So what we know is that it's time for our team to have a team of execs. You guys are all ready. So it is time. And we are ready to celebrate you guys. And I want to say something, you know, there's two sort of types of people in this business, and there's no right or wrong. There's the amateur, and that's when you're sort of chasing PIBs and cycles. And we all want double PIBs, right? I mean, that helps us, right? We need that upfront money, and those cycles are awesome. But when you get to a point where you're focusing less on PIBs, but focusing more on building people, things are going to shift in your business. Things are really going to shift in your business. And I'll give you an example of that. I've enrolled one person this month, okay? It's been quiet. And last month I think I enrolled 2 people. I'm not letting that discourage me. I'm planting seeds. I'm doing as much as I can. You know what I mean? Angela had like a record week last week. I get so excited when you guys are earning like the money, you know, like Renee's the same way with Erin. Erin Harper is doing so well. And Renee's like, oh my gosh, we love that. Renee is so not shy about saying, Amanda's earning more than I am in Isagenix. Like, that's where we want you guys to be. When you can really know that your job is to build people and build depth in your business, you're having an executive state of mind. And people are going to feel that from you. They're going to feel that from you. When you're not going to treat them like you're a number. You're really going to ask them, how can I help you? You're really going to listen to their needs, okay? But when you're treating them like a PIB or a double PIB, they're going to feel it. So we're here to build people, right? So when you build other people and really teaching them to duplicate, that's when you've got a big business, you guys. When you're building your BV, that's where the depth is. So we don't get rich from the PIBs, but we do get rich from having our team duplicate, okay? That's where we start to really see the bread and butter of our business. And that's why Renee's going to really talk to you guys about why you want to be an executive. She's going to go into those things, but that's what we want to focus on, is really building those people and creating a business of duplication. So, you know, it's questions like building people by first building yourself. And that's number one. If you want to build other people, you need to make sure that you're building yourself. You want to make sure that you are in a great place, right? And there's so many things you can do for that, as you guys know. So many great podcasts, plugging into the morning calls. Oh my gosh, we have so many great resources out there. But you need to start with building yourself. You want to then build other people. But you guys, we are dealers of hope with Isagenix. What an honor. What an honor. So I want you to remember that. We're helping the person struggling to pay bills. We're helping them to make ends meet because we're offering them a solution. I want you guys to feel that in your core, what we have with Isagenix, and really understand that. This is an absolute gift, right? So what would your life look like? This is a question you can ask someone. What would your life look like if you could do more of what you're truly passionate about? You know, we're not casting visions for people. We're really asking questions. And that's a great question to ask someone. So, you know, something as simple as this may or may not be for you, but I believe you'd be so great at this because you're passionate and you care about people. Also, you'd love these products. When you have 30 minutes where we can chat and I can share more, you know, it's putting yourself out there and just asking, and it's connecting. So Renee is going to really go into some great verbiage on, okay, you've got your map together. Now what? Now what do you do? How can you create consultants? How can you talk to your current customers about offsetting their price? And really kind of give you the tangible tips on that. but I wanted to kind of touch on getting in that state of mind. And I truly believe, I know you guys, I feel like you guys are ready for that and are in that state of mind. So I'm going to pass it on to you, Renee. Is there anything you Renee, think that I've missed, or maybe you wanted to touch on before you go into more on the scripts?
No, I think that was awesome. I think that the points that you made are very valid. It's very easy to get caught up in the crystals too. I just want everyone, I really want to hit on that. Okay. And Carrie, I'm going to call you out because we just went through this. And Carrie did such a phenomenal job of shifting. Okay. So I missed my crystal director date, but I'm going to be a director in the next week or two. Instead of it being a weak foundation, you're going to have a strong foundation. You know, there's a method to the madness. So obviously we want to race. Everybody wants to quickly achieve. And we're here to race with those who are ready to run and have the ability or the networks or are doing it, right? But not all of us are going to be on that timeline. And I commend those of you who are on this call who've been in Isagenix, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 4 years, and maybe you haven't hit the rank that you desired, right? But that's why you're here today and you're showing up. It's why every single quarter I fill this out again, okay? Because we're always striving. And if you're showing up and you're striving and you're casting that vision for yourself and your business, you're doing exactly what we're asking you to do. And sometimes it just doesn't happen, but if you practice and you get more and more comfortable and more confident with the things that Amanda shared, the things I'm going to share, it will happen. And Erin, I'm going to use you as another example because most of you probably don't even know who Erin is. And you're like, who the heck is this girl they're talking about? But Erin has been in Isagenix almost, I want to say, close to 4 years, right? Most of you have no idea who she is. Five. I forget how long I've been in this. 5 years, okay? It wasn't until a couple months ago where the light turned on. And she realized she had an opportunity to bless people with this physically and financially, and that she was doing them a disservice by not sharing with them. She dropped all her excuses. She dropped all of her fear. She faced it head on. And just watching her have those revelations 5 years in is proof it is never too late to race to executive. I have no doubt she's going to be director executive by Celebration, just watching that growth unravel. And I want to give you kudos. Most of you don't know this, but the rankings for Next to Nashville just came out. She was number 8 in the company. She had 21 enrollments from the beginning of May to the end of the contest in June. So many that our regional sales manager messaged her today and said, what in the world are you doing to get 21 enrollments? So just hats off to you, okay? So now we're going to shift into duplication mode, right? Because you can enroll all day. And some of you are recruiters, some of you are developers, some of you are a little bit of both. And I'm going to encourage you to really focus on having balance in your business, okay? So sometimes maybe your recruiting isn't going so well. And Amanda and I can attest to this. We do this all the time. We have to shift gears. Sometimes we're in seasons of recruitment. Sometimes we're in seasons of development. And what do I mean by development? It means focusing on those who want to run with us, focusing on those who are sharing, focus on those who are themselves recruiting and help them recruit if maybe your prospects aren't panning out. And you're going to teach them to do the same thing. So your business is going to go into seasons. You're going to ebb and flow. And you have to be okay with the fact that some months aren't going to be as high as our enrollments as others. And some months are going to create more consultants than others. Okay. So that's, really, really important for you guys to know, because I think that it's easy to get caught up in one or the other. All right. So that's first things first. I'm going to go back to our notes and just make sure I stay on track. So why do you want to be executive? Let's just talk about that first. So there's a lot of perks financially for being executives, specifically the executive match. So for those of you who are or are not familiar, when you hit executive, you get a 10% cycle match on your front line, meaning anyone you've personally enrolled. So I talk about this all the time, but guys, I make about $2,000 a month off of Amanda. I mean, just realistically, off of her cycles, because she cycles so much. I get 10% of all her cycles. So if she cycles 50 times in 1 week, I get 5 extra cycles. Got it? Does that make sense? Okay, so if my team as a whole cycles a total of 200 times, I get an extra 20 cycles. Okay, so it's a lot of money. when you hit executive, you get that 10% match that's just added on to your residual. Now, if you're not executive, you don't get that match. So there's plenty of people on our team who could be getting that. They might have people who are cycling a lot. They could be making an extra 100, 200 bucks a week, but they're not, because they're not paid as executives. So you don't want to miss out on that. Holly DeMott, many of you probably even know her name. She enrolled Emily Vavra, who Amanda mentioned earlier. Y'all, she makes 6 figures alone just on the executive match off of Emily Vavra and Hayden Vavra. 6 figures just off the executive match. So that isn't enough of an incentive, because you never know. Holly DeMott makes nothing compared to Emily Vavra, who makes she makes 7 figures a year, over $1 million a year. Holly makes probably a couple $100,000. While that's not nothing, imagine what it would be if she didn't have that executive match. So here's the reason why I bring this up. You never know who's going to come into your downline. You never know who's going to change your life financially. Did I think Amanda was going to blow up my team leg? No offense, but not really, right? Just didn't really think that. So, because you don't know what someone's potential is, and you can't ever assume that it is something or isn't going to be something. It just happens. So we all pray for that day that an Amanda is going to come into our business center and blow it up, and it's going to happen. You know, some of you have people that are waiting to pop, and they're going to pop, and it's going to be big. So I just want you to know, getting to executive is so important. You don't want to neglect that. Not to mention, you know, there's the executive leadership pools. And the executive leadership pools, I was just telling Carrie this afternoon, is where I make a lot of money every single year. I make upwards of close to $10,000, $20,000 a year just in those leadership pools. So when you're paid as executive, you get those perks. So I think we've done enough of that. But I want to talk and shift gears just a little bit and talk about duplication. So a lot of you on this call are recruiters. I see your names. I see you in Isopulse. I see you recruiting. But the real gritty stuff comes when you've got people in your downline duplicating and you're creating depth in your business. It's all fun to have, you know, this great, awesome, wide business, but the beauty of this comp plan is that it goes deep. Other companies can't really do that with the kind of success that we can here. So I challenge you guys to really start to grow depth in your business, because that's also what solidifies it. Think of it as like the roots, right? You're the tree, you're standing tall, you're planting all your seeds, but then you really want to ground in and get the roots. Until your business is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 generations of people deep that are sharing this business, that's when you're really going to have a solid foundation and a strong residual. So how do we do that, right? It's the concept of the you share, they share, and creating those consultants. It's so important to make sure that this is an easy process for people. So how many of you who are on this call work full-time? Raise your hand. All right, so more than 50% of you work full-time. So I'm just gonna, for the sake of this example, assume that you guys are all busy. Because I know when I started building this business, I was busy. I had 2 kids under the age of 3, and I was working full-time 50, 60 hours a week, traveling the United States. My husband was in school full-time, getting his MBA, and working full-time, and we had a sick and dying parent. So when people tell me they're busy, I'm like, I get you. Like, that was my life. Now, I will say, those of you who are busy like that, who just wear multiple hats, you are much more efficient with your time. You are much more efficient with your time. Busy people are so much more incredibly successful. But what we've done over the years is we've simplified the processes for you so that you can duplicate with ease, simplicity, and rapid success. Create rapid success. I'm going to tell you, the way we used to do it, it was time consuming. Phone calls would last up to an hour just for an open the box call. Someone got their box, you'd be on with them for an hour trying to explain to them what a shake day and a cleanse day looks like. No more. We're not doing that. So what we've done, and I know some of you have used this in the past. Some of you have not used this. Some of this might be completely, utterly brand new, but I'm about to share my screen. So for those of you who are on mobile devices, this is recorded so you can go back to it and see. But I really want you guys to see, if I can find it. I have too many windows open. God bless America. Okay, hold on 2 seconds. I'm sorry. We'll get this. We'll get this. I really want you guys, here it is. Okay. I really want you guys to see this, because this is what we call our goals assessment. Can everybody, let me make sure I have it pulled up. Okay, can you guys all see? Has it got like a light blue background? Can everyone see that?
It's a spreadsheet right now
Scrappy do.
with credit cards. I'm going to Nordstrom.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, here we go. This is it. All right, now you can all see it. So many of you have seen this in some way, shape, or form. It is a health assessment is really what it is, or a goals assessment. It covers products and it covers the business opportunity. Here's why this is important. And Amanda and I, prior to this call, had a chat about this. And you get to build your business the way you want to build it. We're going to show you things that have worked for each of us. Some things work for her, some things work for me, some things work for our team. But what I will say is those that are filling this out are having a much faster turnaround time in getting people started and getting them involved in sharing. And here's why, okay? So what happens is, and I'm going to leave you guys all tonight with the link in the comments, and we'll also disperse it amongst you all. The way it works is you send this link to someone and you say, who shared it with you? So they put your name in and your email. What this does is it triggers you to get the response. So you're going to get a printout of all their answers. Okay? That's so important because you're going to use it when you get on the phone with them. What's cool about this is it exposes them to a video right away. So instead of you just sending the video and going back and forth with them, did you watch it, did you not? You know, if they fill this out, they at least saw the video or you were exposed to it. And you can say, what did you think of the video and the assessment? You can ask them right out when you get the results. You say, okay, let's hop on the phone and talk about your assessment answers. And let's see if we can if I figure out what some options will be good for you. Okay, so I'm going to go through it. Get contact information, very simple. We ask them their Instagram handle. What time is the best time to connect with them? And this is important because you might have some people who aren't available in the morning. So you at least know what time zone are they in. So then we ask them, why is now that they want to achieve their goal? How serious are they committed? What are their goals specifically? So they can pick as many as they want. Specific health concerns, are they pregnant or nursing, food allergies? And then we have them watch the 6-minute video, which is the Isagenix Advantage video. It's embedded in there. And then who are 2 or more people that would do this with you, friends? And we say studies have shown that people who have accountability partners or buddies have a higher success rate. So here's the deal. Why is it important to have people fill this out? Because right there, they're doing work for you and giving you answers that you can use in your conversations with them about who their 2 accountability partners are. In that very first conversation, you reiterate it and you bring it back up. So many of us are scared to ask that question. It asks it for you. Be like, oh, I noticed that you mentioned so-and-so would probably do this with you. You know, let's get them on a call and let's talk about this with them so that we can help them get started, because your success rate is going to skyrocket. It's so much more fun to do it with friends, not to mention having that accountability. Okay. And you kind of go into, I'll share them. You know, the statistics rapidly skyrocket. The success rate skyrockets when people have accountability partners, not to mention who doesn't like to offset the costs of their groceries. You know, your posture and how you say it is going to be everything with them. Because if you're uncertain about it yourself, they're going to be uncertain about that idea too. Like, I don't know. Same thing happened back in the day when we used to ask people for their social security numbers, which we don't do anymore, but we used to have to do that to enroll someone. Okay? Those of you who've been around long enough, you'll remember this. If you weren't standing in that power and confident about that it was okay, people saw right through it. It's no different with this kind of thing when you're sharing the opportunity to at least become consultant. But we want to be more than just consultants. We want to cast a vision for them and become manager and director factories. We just want to pop out because we want to show them, look, this is so easy. This is about sharing is caring, right? You love people, do it. The other thing is, people say, oh, I want to wait till I have results, or so-and-so is going to want to wait to see me. Y'all, we have thousands of testimonies in the Ramp Effect community alone. None of our even collateral or material are models. It's all Isagenix associates or customers. You know, I always tell people every body is different. So everybody is going to have a different result. What if you only lost 5 pounds, but you shared it with your buddy over here and your buddy lost 20? Would you really want to cheat someone out of the opportunity of losing 20 pounds because you only lost 5? No. And vice versa. It goes both ways. So I get real with them and I say, why would you want to wait? Like, you have a 30-day money-back guarantee. You know, you guys can all get your money back if you're not satisfied with your results. In a weeks like last week, there's literally nothing to lose. No membership fee, no shipping. Boom, just like that. Okay, so then we just go into how often do you consume alcohol or coffee? Are you someone who eats breakfast? What do you typically have? What time do you eat lunch? What do you have dinner? And you guys know, like when you see these pieces of information, you can see gaps in people's diet really quick. It is not brain science. You do not have to know isoproduct.com or all the ingredients in our products to know that somebody needs more nutrition in their diet. It's just mostly common sense. And once you've done this long enough, you really start to, when I mean long enough, I mean like a week, you start to realize like, okay, this is why we have this. This is why we're filling in our gaps with protein shakes. And then we just get to the bottom of, you enjoy the following: multivitamin, do you use a probiotic? It's a great opportunity to talk about, well, we've got a probiotic that would be an awesome addition to your diet, to your gut health, exercise. And then we talk about budget. On average, how much would you estimate you spend on 2 meals per day? So here's why this is important. It's an easy way to jump straight to the cost objection. You're instantly going to know where someone stands financially based on these answers. How many days a week do you eat out? Okay, that's going to help you a lot. On average, what do you spend daily on gas station, vending machines, etc.? So you can do the math. It's pretty easy. And it gives you a great idea of where to start with them. Okay, well, we've got packs and systems. This is going to be it's good, better, best. And then you could have that conversation with them using the basic scripts. And Amanda and I, we use different scripts for this all the time, but you got to use what you're comfortable with. Okay, there's one on the rampeffect.com on the business section, and it's under the step number 3. So if you go in the top right, there's step 1, 2, 3, 4. If you haven't explored it, I would encourage you to check it out. I'd encourage you to put your new business builders through the steps, almost like a boot camp, because you're going to be ensured that they're going to get all of the different tools that they need for every step of building their Isagenix business. It's all there. And some of you use other sites, use those too. It doesn't matter what you use, as long as you're getting those steps and you're teaching people those steps and they have the scripts and they're confident in that verbiage. I don't care if they read off of it, if they ad lib, or they make something up on their own. But as long as they have something to go from, that's most important. So the scripts really go into talking about what the different systems are, the good, better, best. Start at the good, go to the best. And then at the end, you always say, would you like my best recommendation? Based on what I saw in your health assessment, I would recommend the best option, and this is why. And you can say why. And then you just shut up. You don't need anything else. But that's the reason why getting people to fill out this assessment is so important, because it's going to cut down those conversations we used to have that were 30 minutes to an hour into 15 minutes. You guys are busy professionals. You're busy people. Your moms, your dads, you're volunteering, whatever, and you're building Isagenix business. And you're building a big business. This is a huge business. We want you guys are trying to help more people, and so people can do this with ease without feeling overwhelmed. So we get all this information up front for them without having it on the phone. And then we get on the phone with them and we bring another person in to do validation, okay? To do validation. It doesn't have to be on the phone. You can do it on text messages. You can do it on voice messages on Facebook. Diana, who's not on the call tonight, she's actually traveling back from Hawaii. She enrolled 4 people last week, a value and 3 premiums. And it was all over Facebook Messenger. And it was boom, boom, boom. Why? Because we had all of them fill out assessments. We knew exactly where they were at. We knew what their budget was. We asked them if we could make recommendations. They asked us what we did. We told them what we did. And that's how we closed them all on the values and the premiums. But there was no hesitation. There wasn't like this stalling period of time, because we already had all the information we needed. And we just were able to plant the seed based on their responses about the financial opportunity and showing them that they too can go find 2 accountability partners so that they can offset their costs and start to profit and also pay for their products for the future. So you can see it has them watch the next entrepreneur, what additional amount of income. And the reason why it's important is look at all this information you're gathering. It's great conversation information. It allows you to dig deeper into what's driving them and really getting to the bottom of it. So if you're not using this, let me stop my sharing real quick. And that's it. That's the end of the form. So we expanded it from a version that a lot of you have previously seen. Let's see, I'm gonna look at the questions. Where in the process do I send it? I send it right away. If someone says, hey, listen, I'm interested, I say, awesome. I wanna get to better know what your goals are and what you're looking to accomplish. And I also wanna give you a little bit more information. So if you wouldn't mind, click this link. Here's my email address, fill it out, and then let's set up a time to talk about it further. And I won't let much time pass. I don't like the back and forth with people. It's why I don't send a video, wait, send a video, wait. There's just too much time that can lapse and you can lose somebody. I like this because if they're interested, they're going to fill it out. And it allows me to pre-qualify people. Pre-qualifying is huge because a lot of you are working out of a state of desperation instead of really trying to partner and align with people that, are your vibe. Like your vibe attracts your tribe. And you really want to make sure the people you're working with are the people that are going to be the doers. So if somebody's not willing to fill it out, there's a sign right there. Like why don't they want to fill it out? Do they not have 2 minutes? Because you're about to spend 30 minutes to an hour with them on the phone if otherwise. So you got to be really intentional with it. So I just say fill this out and boom, the process starts immediately. I've only had one person tell me they didn't have time to fill it out. And I was like, oh, okay, I understand. Well, let me know when you have time. I'm not going to spend time with them because if they don't have 2 minutes to fill it out, I don't have an hour to be on the phone with them. And most of you who work jobs or volunteer or have children, whatever it is, we're busy people. So people have got to respect that. You got to treat it like a business, right? If you want a business, you got to treat it like a business. And I always joke, like back in the day, I would get phone calls. And I'd be like, hold on, let me clear out my office 1 second. I put them on pause. There was nobody in my office. And I was important. And I wanted them to think I was important. And it works. I mean, I did this in my corporate career, so I know y'all are laughing at me or whatever, but it really does work because people don't value and respect people's time these days. And this is a great way to really get their respect and show them you treat this as a business. You have that executive state of mind. That's what we were talking about. Okay, so here's the link. Hold on. I know some of you guys are asking for it. And you can go in and fill it out yourself so that this way you can see exactly what's in there. But that's the goal. That's the link. It's super easy to remember. bit.ly/the ramp effect goals. That is it. You can use this link. You don't have to use the old links that are flying around. This one is updated. This one has all the appropriate videos. It has the additional questions in there, and you all will still get the responses if they put your email in. And if one ever comes through where there's not a name or an email address, I always hunt the person down. Okay? I always find out who it belongs to, and I'll make sure to get it into your hands. So getting the assessment and then setting up some type of three-way validation call. If you are not doing three-way validations and you are trying to do this on your own, particularly those of you who are fairly new and aren't as comfortable and confident in having those conversations, or maybe your close rate isn't what you want it to be, you are doing yourself and themselves a disservice. So just drop the ego, forget about it, and really focus on, okay, how can I be serving and helping more people? Bring somebody else in. And one of the things that we're going to do after this call is over is we're going to start a thread with everybody here who created their map to executive. If you didn't create one, that's okay. You're going to create one tonight. Love ya. And what we're going to do is we're going to put you guys on a thread so that we can celebrate your successes. You create a new consultant, we want to hear about it. All right. One of your people creates a consultant, we want to hear about it. Verbiage that's working for you, we want to hear about it. We want to celebrate each other. If you need help with a three-way message or a three-way call, utilize each other because you guys are all at the same caliber. You're all engaged. You're showing up. You're here. That in of itself, you deserve to be with these people so that you can support and cheer each other on because that's what this community is about. You know, it's not like where you're sitting in a cubicle by yourself or you're working behind a desk by yourself all day. No, we are a community and that's what sets us apart. And we want you guys to really feel that and experience it because we want to create a culture of executives. We want to create 30 executives because the number of people that are on this call. So I want to give you guys some verbiage. And I also want to stress, social media is awesome. So many of us have built our business on social media. But y'all, the core of network marketing is getting out and talking to people, meeting people, and having belly-to-belly conversations. If you are hiding behind your computer all day, you are really, truly missing out. Pick up your head and start smiling at more people when you're out in public. Make friends. Have eye contact. People will tell you that is one of the number one things people always say about me is I always make eye contact and I'm always smiling. The instructor today at Kettlebell, I had never been to this class before. I was like in the middle to the back because I was petrified that I was going to get injured. And she said, girl, you were smiling at me the whole class. And I'm like, I know, I smile when I work out, but that's the thing, like that vibe, she got it from me. So if you're stuck into your phone or you're just kind of like have that RBF, that resting bitch face, excuse my language, if you're that person, you got to work on changing that because you want to attract people belly to belly. You want them to feel that vibe and be attracted to you, that they want to talk to you, because that's how you're going to grow your network. They might not be your customer. They might not be your next business builder, but I bet they know someone who could be. So you got to think about it in that sense. And you can't just always be hiding straight behind your computer because it's so easy to do that. And I'm telling you, with the algorithms right now, you are not going to have any success building this business if you just stay behind your computer. The algorithms suck. Instagram sucks right now. Facebook sucks right now. Okay? So get out and meet people. It doesn't mean don't use them. I'm just saying don't be dependent upon them to build your business. Don't be executives are getting out and they're meeting people face to face and they're having those critical conversations. Okay? You can take it online if you meet them offline. That's okay. But just don't be solely dependent on meeting them online. I love it. Y'all's comments are like the best. They make these calls so much fun because I can see all the chitter chatter going on. All right. I want to share with you guys some verbiage. So we had some conversation on a thread today or yesterday that was really great. And I hope you're not embarrassed that I'm using this, but we had someone just feeling a little bit defeated based on some no's and objections that they're getting, and that, you know, people aren't wanting to share. People aren't interested in the business. Or, you know, they're just having trouble finding prospects or sharing verbiage with their downline to help them share. First and foremost, Amanda shared this before, I'm going to share it again. If you've got people who are open to sharing, help them write that first post. Help them write their post, period. Several of you on this call, either Amanda's written posts for you, I've written posts for you, or someone else has written posts for you. Don't be afraid to cross-check. I had someone helping me with my posts for my first year and a half. Elizabeth Laconia used to help me with my posts all the time. I used to help Amanda with her posts until she spread her own wings, and that was really quick. But I'm just saying, don't be afraid to ask for help. A lot of you are putting stuff in your posts that are, I don't want to say sabotaging yourselves, but just we have experience with this, so leverage the resources of our team so that we can really help you to put your best foot forward from the get-go. We've already made the mistakes for you. We don't want you to make those mistakes. I'm trying to think of what verbiage I really wanted to share here before I get off tangent.
Hey, Renee, Stephanie had a great question, and I would love to hear how you answer it. It's do you see it? It's what do you do? Or when did you get to that point that you were able to be choosy? She feels like she's in the chasing leads kind of path right now.
Okay.
What would you say to that? I know what I would say. I want to hear what you would say.
Okay, so this is a great question. So I would say I still struggle with this. Like, I want to be honest with you guys, because that's so much more important than just telling you what the great answer would be. You know, Herb Cepeda said to me, I think I mentioned this to Amanda this morning. Herb Cepeda said to me, yeah, I just send somebody Ultimate Pack via the IsoLife app, and if they don't do it, that's their problem, not mine. And I was like, yeah, no, that's not going to work for me, Herb. Sorry. As you guys know, Herb Cepeda is the #1 income earner in Isagenix. Now, with all that being said, I'm not going to chase after people. You know, if people aren't going to respond and people aren't going to give me the respect, I'm not going to chase after them. Will I follow up with them? Absolutely, yes, I will. But I'm not going to chase after them, and I'm not going to dwell on it, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I would say that I'm choosy in the sense that there's people that I've had interactions with that I've chosen not to follow up with. I did a 3-way message yesterday for one of our teammates who's, I think, actually on, and it was an epic disaster. To the point of where I finally said, I don't believe that this conversation warrants any more attention. Okay? So Ashley's laughing because she was on the message with me. But in all seriousness, there is a time and a place. Like, I am not in the business of convincing people that this is for them. And you are not either. And you should not be. And you will not be. Because I will not let you guys do that. You want people who want to be here. And you want people who believe in what we have from a product standpoint, from an opportunity standpoint, from a company from a compensation plan, and frankly, also themselves. And you can tell very quickly with the resistance and the objections whether or not those people are going to be the right people for you. So when we say be picky and choosy, we just say there's times where you need to cut the cord and freaking cut it. Don't be afraid to cut it, because that person, if they're going to be a pain in the ass now, they're going to be even more of a pain in the ass later. Okay? So, sorry, I'm like a little fiery today, but hopefully it resonates with you guys, because I think I see so many of you as executives. Like, I see your names on a board, and I just see a team and a community full of executives. And as most of you know, we're having our leadership retreat at Celebration. It's our very first one that we're putting on, and it's exciting. Like, we're pumped about it, right? It's going to be our first annual Rise Up retreat. But next year, I'm even more excited about, because I see that we're going to double and triple and quadruple the size of directors and executives that we have there. There's nothing more than Amanda and Andrea and Elizabeth and I want than to dish out tons of money so that this way we can throw a killer event for you all to celebrate your success. Because that's why we make money, so that we can spend money celebrating, right? And if you guys aren't making money, we're not making money. So our goal is to help you. That's where our passion and our purpose really lies. So I want you to think about, what really does excite you, what energizes you. So anyway, I think that's really enough for tonight. Hopefully you guys have just soaked it all in. You feel jazzed. You're going to take that map that you made, and you're going to make sure that you're comfortable with it, but at the same time, don't be attached to it, because it's going to change. People are going to come and go. Not everybody's going to be you, and that's okay. But you're always going to be able to be you, and you're going to be able to change this as you go. You're going to be able to help people. You're going to show them the tools that they need in order to be able to help people. And you're going to leverage the verbiage and the scripts that we have to be able to share with them the different options, to be able to ask them, okay, if I answer all your questions, how can I help you get started today? Don't be afraid to ask for the business on every single call. A, B, C. Karina, if you're not on this call, she always jokes, always be closing. Always be closing. You want to ask them, have I answered your questions? Are there any other questions that's going to get in the way from you starting today? You want to know, have you helped overcome all of their objections? Because that's where it's going to get you to where you want to go. Don't be afraid to lead with the business. Don't be afraid to talk about the business. And if you're concerned about that, let's work on that, whether it's through podcasts, personal development, coaching calls, or just this killer community that's going to tell you that you're worthy of this success and that you have one of the most incredible business opportunities in the entire world. All right, so.
Can I say one thing?
Of course.
I love everything that you just said, and that just got me even more excited. And I know that my team, some of us have used these links before. Like we said, don't use my link because it's outdated. But I personally think this is awesome to revisit the assessments. I took a little break, but I think that's the beauty of this business is you can do what you want to do. I'm ready to get back to it because for me, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to be able to have them fill out these questions and be able to follow up accordingly based on that survey. To me, it's so organic to say off the bat, oh my gosh, so Barbara and Michelle will do this with you, right? That's awesome because really you don't want to do this alone. And here's the deal. So you want to have that posture. So I recommend every single person using that assessment and make sure when you do send them that assessment, you are including your email address because they need, when they fill it out, they need your email address in order for you to get the results in your inbox. So just make sure you say it's super quick. It will just help make things more efficient and it'll help you better understand your goals. So the second thing is when you're talking to people, like Renee said, when you're making the recommendation, here's the best path that I recommend you get started on. What do you think, right? You want to make sure that's where you're planting the seed from the beginning on getting two people to join them. You want to make sure because it's so much easier to plant that seed then than to follow up later and be like, I failed to tell you, even if they do the assessment, you may skim that over or maybe they don't even fill that part out. Make sure you are planting that seed from the beginning. Because just as we follow up with prospects to get them to enroll, we follow up with people that are already enrolled to get them to share. not to be annoying. We're not chasing them, but we're in the state of reminding them. Okay, so say it's their first week, they're feeling flipping incredible. And let's say when you shared with them at the beginning of that, when you got them enrolled, you said, listen, and I like this verbiage. You say, as you're kind of getting a feel for which pack they want to get started on, you're saying, I'm curious, who are 2 people you think would do this with you? You know, go for it. I'm curious, who are 2 people you think would do this with you? Right? And just jump into it. The reason I say that is because I find people are so often, they're so quick to quit on themselves when they do this program, but when they have 2 people do it with you, you don't want to quit on them. Your results are going to be tenfold when you have 2 people do it with you. But not only that, you're going to offset your price incredibly. So guys, it's that simple. It's making sure though you are planting that seed from the beginning, and they may be resistant. And so Zach and Eden saying this is true. People fall into 3 categories from the beginning. You can kind of sense it, and they may shift because Renee didn't have any interest in the business, and look at her now, right? So people are going to come in, and you're going to be on a call with them, or you're going to make that recommendation, and you're going to tell them, get 2 people. It's the best way to go. And they're going to be like, oh, hell no. They don't want any part of that. You can tell you're not going to be like, well, listen, I'll put up a post. You know, you're not going to keep going because that's way obnoxious. You're going to be totally respectful of that and say, no worries at all. No worries at all. I just wanted you to know what's out there. But what's going to happen, and you can always say, oh, look at the little baby. You know, that's totally fine. I have people say that too. You may get to a point where you feel so good you can't keep your mouth shut. And if you don't, and if you still feel amazing, you don't want to kill anybody, you don't have to. I won't force you on that. But here's the deal. People are going to start feeling amazing. Right? And so you follow up. And you're following up regardless because we care about people's journeys, right? When you follow up, how are you feeling? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're feeling so good. Who's noticing? What other benefits have you been experiencing? You're hearing all this, oh my gosh, well listen, you know you can pay it forward, right? I just want to remind you. And at this point, you're making it less about what you need from them. You're making it like they are helping someone else. They can pay it forward, not like, hey, I want to make a sale and I want you to sell to 2 people. Who's noticing? Okay, you know you can pay it forward, right? So it's what?
One thing that I oftentimes will say to them, I'll do that and I'll say, what are you telling them? Like ask them, what are they telling these people when they're noticing the changes? Because oftentimes they're like, well, I just tell them it's Isagenix. Okay. So here's why you don't want to do that. And most of you are fairly new, and you haven't heard me preach about this, but I'm going to preach for a hot minute. Guys, you have no idea how many people on a daily basis go to Isagenix.com and place an order for retail products. It is someone that you have shared with is seeing someone else in their workplace or their office or out and about with a shaker cup. They go and Google it and they buy retail online. Or they see the price, they're like, oh, hell to the no. And they don't buy it and they say, you're crazy, that's expensive. It happens hundreds of people on the daily, okay? So it is our job to educate even our product users that if you have someone who says, oh, what is that? What are you doing? Like, oh, it's Isagenix, check it out. And if you want it, come back to me and I can help you pay the same price I pay. Because if you go buy it online, you're going to pay way more than what I pay. Period. It's that simple. Like, you're not selling them anything. You're trying to help a sister out. Okay? Help a brother out. Don't rip your friends off is what I tell them. So that's a really easy way to turn someone into a share. Just by saying, hey, listen, have people noticed your different changes? What are you saying to them? And make sure you're arming them with appropriate verbiage that doesn't feel salesy. Because a lot of people are scared of sales and they don't realize that they're selling people on things all day, every day. But it's the idea that God forbid they're making money, even though we all have bills to pay and we all make money in everything that we do. It's that kind of thing. Okay. So yeah, Amanda, sorry. I just had
No. I'm so glad you said that because that's happened to people, a lot of people, and that sucks.
Listen, okay, you guys, Diana, who did 4 enrollments last week, who made $600 last week, she was a retail order. She went to the website and bought it, and I got it. It came to me because I was part of a program, and now she's enrolled like 8 people or something crazy. I mean, and she's so pumped up about the business. Could you imagine? What if she had gotten connected with someone else who didn't care? So I just want you guys to know that it is our jobs to be missionaries of Isagenix. I don't know.
True. It's true. We're giving people the roadmaps. I've said that so many times, but you know, we got to make sure we're giving people that verbiage. You know, you know, you can offer them the same price. You can offer them the wholesale price. You don't want them getting ripped off. So, you know, I love this. I'm excited.
I love it. All right, so we got to wrap. It's been an hour. You guys are incredible. All of you have stuck on. I mean, kudos to you. Thank you for showing up. It means so much to us because we put our passion out there all day. To see your passion and your commitment and dedication makes me, I can't sleep after calls like this. So we're going to form a thread with all of you. Let's real quick, let me just do a screenshot real quick just so I have record of everybody that's on because all of you are amazing and you stayed on. Okay, got it. Great.
And smile while you're at it.
Sorry, too late. Anyway,
so
shut up. Thread, and we cannot wait to celebrate with you. The first person that creates a consultant, just saying, the first person that creates a consultant, we will have a prize for you. We'll leave it at that. Okay? So we challenge you guys to get out and start creating your consultants. And as you're creating 2 consultants, 4 consultants, 6 consultants, whatever it is, if you guys want to put in the thread what your goal is between now and celebration, how many consultants do you want to create, share with us. Okay?
And have this in front of you all the flipping time. Be erasing, add new people. You can even put 20 on each side. This is your Bible. This is your Bible right here. So.
And you don't have to know these people. This can be like the guy who comes to mow my lawn or the janitor at work. Oh, I don't care. Like it doesn't have, and that's the thing. I think so many people in your downlines that are in your own teams that you've already enrolled who are like, I don't know, or I didn't fill out my map. Okay. You don't have to have anyone enrolled. You don't even have to have 4 people who are interested in the business enrolled. It's who do you want sitting around the table with you? Who do you want on your board of directors? Who do you want to run with you? Put it out there. When you write it down, it's more likely to happen than when you put it up here.
And then reach out, the most important part, because just having names on paper is not going to do SHIT unless you're actually taking action, right? So this is where it's time for you to go and grow and get messy, get awkward, get vulnerable, be weird, and just go for it. So
we love you.
We love you. Bye, guys. I'm excited.
Good night.
Good night.